You ever notice how the world is full of little mysteries? Things we see every day but never stop to ask. Why? Why do our fingers wrinkle in water? Why does the Eiffel Tower grow in summer? Why do we hiccup at the worst possible times, but babies can't even shiver? Today, we're diving into some of the weirdest and most fascinating whys that science, history, and human nature have to offer. And trust me, some of these are going to surprise you, some might gross you out, and a few will probably make you laugh. So, sit back and let's unravel the strange logic behind life's most curious questions. Why do our eyes move in sync? Well, coordinated eye movement is what lets us build a three-dimensional image of the world. It's how we judge distance, depth, and speed. Without it, we'd constantly be walking into doors. But nature always has exceptions. Chameleons and seahorses, those lazy little outliers, can move each eye independently. Imagine trying to have a serious conversation with someone whose left eye is staring at you while the right is scanning the buffet table. Why does the skin on our fingers wrinkle in water? It's not random. Wrinkling actually gave our ancestors grip. Wet rocks, slippery fish, wrinkled skin worked like rain-shred tires, stopping us from slipping. So next time your hands get pruny in the bath, just remember, you're activating your caveman grip mode. And speaking of myths, do fingernails and hair really keep growing after death? Not exactly. What happens is the skin dries and pulls back, making nails and hair look longer. It's an illusion, but a creepy one. Imagine being a mortician's apprentice and thinking your client was slowly turning into a werewolf. Why do we shiver when cold? It's your body's last-ditch effort to keep you alive. Your muscles contract rapidly, generating heat. But here's something fascinating. Babies can't shiver. Instead, they burn what's called brown fat to keep warm. So, while adults are out here rattling like dice in a cup, babies are just quietly cooking their internal heaters. And while we're on strange human noises, why does the stomach rumble when empty? That orchestra in your belly is simply gastric juices and gases sloshing around. Food usually muffles it, but when the tank is empty, the echoes are free to sing. Sometimes it's hunger. Other times, it's dysbacteriosis. Basically, stomach drama. And of course, why do we hiccup? Because your diaphragm is throwing a tantrum. Eat too fast, swallow big chunks, or irritate that vagus nerve, and suddenly you're doing little involuntary hic solos. Cute for 5 seconds, annoying for 5 hours. Why do lizards drop their tails? It's not random. The brain tells the body to release the tail when threatened. A perfect distraction. But it's costly. Tails store fat, nutrients, and energy. Without it, the lizard might not survive long. It's like throwing away your fridge just to get out of a burglary. Why should you never pick up a tree frog? Their skin secretes powerful nerve toxins. Bright colors equals nature's do not touch sign. Fun twist. In captivity, they lose most of that venom because their diet changes. So in terrariums, they're basically poison-free roommates. Still wouldn't recommend cuddling one. Why do frogs squawk? It's a love song. Male frogs inflate their throats and belt out squawks to attract females. Think of it as frog Tinder. Swipe right if the croak is sexy enough. And then there's yawning. Why is it contagious? Not just seeing it, but even reading the word yawn can trigger it. Humans once lived in packs, and synchronized yawning meant synchronized sleeping, safer for survival. Basically, the first social bedtime signal. So, if you've already yawned listening to this, blame evolution. Why is business class at the front of the plane if survival rates are slightly higher in the back? Simple, convenience. Faster boarding, quicker exits, less noise. And besides, plane crashes are rare, about 1 in a million flights. So airlines prioritize comfort over those extra percentage points of safety. Why does the Eiffel Tower grow 15 centimeters in summer? Thermal expansion. Heat makes steel stretch, cold makes it contract. So yes, Paris' most famous icon has seasonal mood swings. Why do matches blow out in the wind, but fires get stronger? A match relies on a small flame, which the wind steals away. But a fire burns thanks to glowing coals underneath, and wind actually feeds it oxygen. It's why campfires roar while your poor match fizzles out. Why does a log float? Density. Water is 1, and wood is less than 1. Basic science. Though I like to imagine the first caveman to notice this thought he'd just discovered magic. Why does a rainbow form an arc? It's actually a circle. The horizon just blocks the bottom half. Which means pilots get to see full circular rainbows from the sky. Mother Nature really does have VIP sections. Why do Detroit Red Wings fans throw octopuses on the ice? In 1952, fans figured 8 wins meant the Stanley Cup. So 2 brothers tossed an octopus to symbolize the 8 tentacles. The Wings swept the playoffs, and a bizarre tradition was born. Now, Detroit ice has seen more squid than some sushi restaurants. Why does an orchestra conductor shake hands with the first violinist? It's tradition. The first violinist is the leader of the orchestra, the bridge between the conductor and the musicians. Beethoven himself started the custom. Today, it's both respect and ceremony. Plus, let's be real, it looks classy. Why is one of the proteins in the human eye called picachurin? Because Japanese scientists in 2008 thought it resembled Pikachu's speed and electrical powers. Imagine dedicating your life to science, only for your discovery to forever be tied to a yellow Pokemon. And in Hollywood, why are screenplay adaptations so lucrative? Because studios pay big for proven ideas. Adapting books or real stories lowers the risk. Writers can earn $500,000 for just a couple weeks' work. Suddenly, being a novelist's best friend seems like a career strategy. Why does fire change color? It depends on temperature and chemicals. Different elements glow in different shades. Copper burns green, sodium burns yellow, and at the right heat, flames turn blue or white. Basically, chemistry's very own rave party. Why do fireflies glow? Bioluminescence. They use it for mating signals. Males flicker in patterns, females answer back. Some species even synchronize their flashes into full-on light shows. Imagine standing in a forest that blinks in unison like a giant disco ball. Why do LED bulbs glow faintly even when off? A tiny current still passes through the circuit. It's harmless, but it makes the bulb flicker or glow. Annoying? Yes. Dangerous? No, unless you're scared of haunted lighting. Why do volcanoes erupt? Magma builds up in underground chambers, gases expand, and the pressure eventually explodes to the surface, sometimes with catastrophic power. It's the planet's way of venting. Why are sea currents tied to weather? They move warm and cold water across the globe, shaping wind, clouds, and rain. It's the ocean whispering orders to the sky. Why do we not feel air pressure? Because it presses evenly from all directions. It's like having 15 tons of invisible weight on you at all times. But don't panic. The air inside your body balances it perfectly. That's why you're not walking around like a human pancake. Why do people go gray? Melanocytes in hair follicles produce pigments. Over time, they slow down and eventually stop. Less pigment equals gray hair. It's not stress, not curses, just biology. Though kids slamming doors probably don't help. You know, the deeper we dive into these whys, the more it feels like reality itself is just trolling us. And this chapter is where science, psychology, and a little bit of late-night beer meet to mess with our heads. Why are dreams so hard to remember? Ever woken up from the craziest dream of your life, only to lose it within seconds, like your brain hit delete? Turns out, that's not laziness, it's biology. During rapid eye movement, REM, sleep, the part of the brain responsible for transferring short-term memories into long-term ones, the hippocampus, isn't working at full strength. Add in a shortage of noradrenaline, the hormone that helps lock memories down, and poof, your dream about riding a llama through space is gone forever. Maybe it's for the best. Why are Arabic numerals actually Indian? The numbers we use every day, 1, 2, 3, didn't come from Europe, and ironically, not even from the Arab world. They were born in India, originally as letters in the Sanskrit language. Traders and scholars carried them to the Arab world, where they spread across the Middle East. By the 12th century, Europeans picked them up and called them Arabic numerals simply because they got them through the Arabs. So technically, every time you complain about math, you should really be blaming ancient Indian scribes. Why does a person sleepwalk at night? Sleepwalking isn't just a horror movie trope. When the brain gets triggered by stress or irritation during deep sleep, the body sometimes skips the paralysis stage. The result? You get up, walk around, and even try to act out your dreams in real life. Most of the time it's harmless, like opening the fridge at 2 a.m., but in some cases, it can get dangerous. Which is why waking up a sleepwalker can be a terrifying family event. Why is the moon sometimes orange? No, the moon doesn't get embarrassed or start celebrating Halloween. The orange glow is caused by Earth's atmosphere. When the moon is low on the horizon, its light has to pass through a thicker layer of air. Dust and gas scatter the shorter blue wavelengths, leaving us with warm reds and oranges. So the next time you see an orange moon, don't panic. It's not on fire. Why was it better before? Nostalgia. Why do we always think the past was better? The music, the movies, even the snacks. Psychologists call this duckling syndrome. Just like a duckling thinks the first thing it sees is its mother, humans latch onto the first things they loved in youth. That's why your first video game feels unbeatable, your childhood candy was the best ever, and your first crush seems unforgettable. Spoiler, it's not that life was better before, it's just that you were younger. Why does beer make the belly grow? Beer isn't just liquid bread, it also messes with your hormones. Drinking beer regularly increases estrogen levels in men, which promotes fat storage, particularly around the waist. That's why the dreaded beer belly forms. And it's not just cosmetic, it can trigger real health problems. So, moderation is key, or at least switch to light beer and jogging. Why does the moon always face one side of the Earth? No, the moon isn't shy, it actually rotates. But here's the trick, it rotates at the same speed that it orbits Earth, a phenomenon called synchronous rotation. That's why we always see the same lunar face smiling down at us. In fact, thanks to a little wobble, we get a peek at about 59% of its surface. The rest? Forever hidden, unless you're an astronaut or really good at hacking satellites. And finally, why is the swamp gurgling? If you stood near a swamp and heard the bubbles rising, that's not nature whispering secrets, it's gas. Specifically, marsh gas, or methane, created when plant matter decomposes without oxygen. It's odorless, colorless, and highly explosive. Yes, that peaceful little gurgle is basically a fart from the earth itself, which makes swamps both fascinating and slightly terrifying. So there you have it, from frogs flirting with squawks to lizards ditching their tails, from rainbows hiding their full circle to your stomach performing drum solos. The world is packed with mysteries, some serious, some silly, but all of them proof that even the smallest details of life are fascinating when you stop and ask why. Now I want to hear from you. Which why blew your mind the most? And which one do you think still has no good explanation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's see if we can solve the unsolvable together. And hey, if you enjoyed this dive into life's strangest mysteries, make sure to like this video, share it with a friend who always asks weird questions, and subscribe for more why content. Because sometimes, the strangest answers are the ones hiding in plain sight.